Look who's with us, a very special lady. Her name is Jane Quigley. No, it's really Jane Alexander. She used to be that in the old days, but I always like to think that she has roots kind of in Nebraska because her father's from Omaha, Nebraska, and you replaced in 1,000 Clowns Sandy Dennis.
Who's also from Nebraska.
From Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And you've got some other kind of, you toured with Henry Fonda from Nebraska.
Omaha. Yeah.
So I kind of feel like you're one of us. And you're a very special lady. I knew that there was something about you other than you had Nebraska roots. I saw you do with James Earl Jones, Great White Hope on Broadway. My dear, I have never been so moved by a performance in my life. I am so happy to say, when James Earl Jones walked in with you, with your broken neck, carrying you like that, I was going to have to leave the theater. I couldn't, the pain was so great.
Yeah, well, that's very tragic.
Now, then you made the movie. I didn't get as involved with you in the movie as I did on stage. Can you tell me why?
Well, I think the stage show was, I think the Great White Hope was better suited to the stage. And the adaptation to the screen was almost direct, which may have been a mistake. The screenplay was virtually the same. We were all the same. It went to different locations and things like that. But as a theater piece, it was epic, and it played itself out in an epic nature. And it worked very, very well as a theater piece.
You've also seen her in Kramer versus Kramer, of course, as Eleanor and Franklin. I saw you do Dear Liar on PBS. The beautiful letters. And one thing that is so marvelous about you is because of your face, the way it is, you can make it up to be very, very glamorous or become very, very
homely.
plain.
I know.
And I think that's an advantage.
I do too. Thank you. I've always felt it was an advantage. And when I first was doing movies, they tried to convince me to change my face and do a lot of things to my, and I said, no, no,
What do you mean change your face?
Oh, fix my nose and bleach my hair and do things like that. And I said, no, no, no. I said, this is all going to be very valuable. Don't do that. I said, I have it allows me to play all kinds of characters, which is true.
Because I think about Elizabeth Taylor. She's pretty, but she's very limited as a result of being so pretty.
I don't know. She was pretty terrific in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Don't forget that.
Oh, no, I won't forget. I played Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, too, at the University of Nebraska.
Oh,
we were the first ones to do it after it had played on Broadway. So we always felt like, well, we did it better. Our production was a little better than
Better than the movie.
Than the movie. But they got paid a little more than we did. You know how that goes.
Considerably.
As a young child growing up and deciding I am going to be a person in the theater, I understand that you took ballet. But you had a little difficulty with your toes.
I did. They got very long and skinny, and oh, that hurt. It was so painful to stand on point that I just had to give it up.
Well, why would anybody want to walk around on their toes like that? It just hurts.
What, on point? You have to do that
I
if
know.
you're going to be a ballerina.
The price that one has to pay.
I know, but I wasn't willing to pay that. Pain was too much for me.
Jane also became, oddly enough, a ski bum, which you seem to be a little too fragile and too delicate to. Are you a skier? Are you a good skier?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get to do it as much as I want to anymore because if I'm involved in making a film, well, I don't ski when I'm making a film, and or if I'm in a Broadway show or something, or any kind of show. So I don't get to do it as much, but then I was skiing a lot, and I loved it, yeah. I still love it.
The latest thing off the press, of course, on the boards right now is a new movie. It's Walt Disney, and she's in it. It's called Night Crossing. It's about hot air ballooning with John Hurt, none other than John Hurt. You two together. What a nice combination. Had you met him before?
No, I hadn't, but I'd seen his work, and I think he's a wonderful actor.
He is.
And so varied and gifted, and so that was very pleasing to me that he was in the film and I could work with him.
Have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
No, it's something I want to do, and we were supposed to do it, but it began to snow in Germany, and it never stopped, and so they didn't let us go up when we were making the film. But it's something I've had on my schedule.
Please do it. Please do it. The silence up there,
That's
no
what I'm longing
engine. It is a wonderful experience. Of course, everybody in seeing the film will think that she's up in the film, but due to the magic of the cameras,
which nobody but Disney does as well. I mean, it's wonderful, all the magic that happens there.
There is a scene, of course, where you cry because of some complications that develop. How do you go about crying, Jane? Is it easy for you? Is it hard?
Oh, it's part of developing the craft of acting, I think. There was a time years ago when it was not easy to do, but you learn how to do things like that, I guess.
Do you really become the person for that period of time?
Yeah, I think I do, pretty much.
How did you feel when you were Eleanor Roosevelt then?
My husband said that I was lovely to live with, but quite chaste. And so I don't want to go into it any more than that, but I do have problems that way.
And you've got a production company that you're starting now.
I do indeed, and one of our first ventures is a movie about Calamity Jane.
Ah, Calamity Jane.
My grandfather, Daniel Thomas Quigley, was Buffalo Bill Cody's doctor in North Platte, Nebraska.
You're kidding.
No.
You're kidding.
No. So
wait till I tell the folks in North Platte that,
Yeah.
because you see, we still celebrate Nebraska Land Days, which is coming up in June, and we have a man who looks just like Buffalo Bill. He thinks he is Buffalo. He is Buffalo. Tell me more. Oh, they'll love to hear this.
Yeah, and my grandfather was quite a wonderful man. He also had the first radium hospital west of the Mississippi in Omaha. And anyway, I grew up knowing a lot about Buffalo Bill, and then the other people that he knew in his life, like Bill Hickok and Martha Jane Cannery, who was Calamity Jane. So I started doing research on her, and I fell in love with her. Wonderful, fascinating woman. Anyway, that's our first movie.
What'll it be called?
I don't know what it'll be called yet, but it'll have Calamity Jane in the title. You can
Oh,
be sure of that.
Oh, good. See, the roots in Nebraska. How delightful to
Yeah.
meet you. And thank you for the pleasure you have given me in seeing you on stage and in the movies.
Thank
It's been
you.
a real pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck to you. Her name is Jane Alexander. The movie is Night Crossing by Disney. And 10/11 Morning continues.